So we're going to talk about several things today. We're going to talk about these Venezuelans, right, in Chicago. Are they really taking over Chicago, or is the media sensationalizing things that like the media likes to do, right? We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about Puffy. Is Puff Daddy guilty of anything? You know, and if he's guilty of anything, what is he guilty of? What is my prediction on how the case is going to go? I'm going to give you that today. And after that, we're going to talk about Jay-Z and how so many people hope and wish that something bad would happen to him, that he would get caught up either in the Puffy scandal or some scandal of his own and go to prison for the rest of his life. Why do black people feel this kind of visceral, this type of hatred towards Jay-Z? We're going to talk about these three topics. So first, let's begin with the Venezuelan situation. You know, a couple years ago, I seen in the mainstream media how MS-13 gang members were taking over New Orleans. That's where I'm from the Lower Ninth Ward, CTC, Cutthroat City in New Orleans, right? And they said that the Venezuelan, the MS-13 gang members were taking over New Orleans. So I called home, what's going on down there with these MS-13 gang members, man? They're like, what was happening? I said, I just seen on the news that they taking over New Orleans. Man, ain't nobody taking over shit down here, man. There ain't no MS-13 taking over a goddamn thing down here, man. I don't know what the media talking about. Okay, just so happened about 2 months later, I go home for a visit, and sure enough, I don't see no MS-13 nowhere. They're not hanging out nowhere. I don't see them. Ride all around the city, do my thing, go see everybody, you know what I'm saying? Hang out at clubs, hang out at spots. I don't see MS-13 presence nowhere in the city. Okay, so that was a lie. Why did I lead off with this? Because the media will lie. Just like they lied about Colorado, talking about these Venezuelan gang members were taking over apartment complexes, making people pay rent to stay in apartment complexes. I'm like, how would they get away with that in America? That's the first thing I said. How would they even get away with something like that in America? The police will ride down on that thing so quick, man, and end that stuff. Plus the residents. They gotta be some residents with guns. It was only like 3-4 dudes in the video clip. That's hardly enough men to take over anything. You know what I'm saying? You would need some real numbers on your side to take over anything. And again, I opened up with the thing about New Orleans, man, because being down from a violent city and I participated in the violence, I found it almost impossible to envision foreigners coming down there and taking over New Orleans. And Chicago is way bigger than New Orleans. New York is way bigger than New Orleans. Now, are they more violent than New Orleans? That could be debated, right? Depends on which metric you're using, right? Per capita or what, you know what I'm saying? But I know where I'm from, dudes are serious gunslingers. And if anybody were to try to come down there and take over, it wouldn't work out well for them. No, just like it didn't work out well in, I think in 84 and 87, when gang members from California tried to take over New Orleans. And them dudes were getting murked everywhere, man. They was getting slaughtered all over the city. The women that was with them too. The dudes from New Orleans was not playing with them people, man. They was tearing, they was smoking them on sight wherever they caught them. So, you know, it's not that you could come down there and just take over some area like that. It's not that kind of party. And the dudes in Chicago got guns. They are very violent people. I used to run in Chicago back in like 89, 90. And the Chicago I knew, oh, these dudes would never take over that Chicago. Now, I can't speak on how Chicago is today. It's been a long time since I've been up there running around those streets. But when I was up in Chicago, I actually hung in the city. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a tourist. I was in Chicago. I had a girlfriend down in Zion. I used to hang out down in Waukegan back when all this was black. You know what I'm saying? I heard one of those areas have been gentrified now. But back then, these were hoods. You know what I'm saying? And when I was there, I was there. I wasn't a tourist. So the Chicago that I got to see, ain't no way nobody going down and taking that over. Now again, I don't know how it is today. So anyway, I heard the news clip, right? I listened to the little Lou special talking about that. They feature some of the ex-gang members and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Talking about what's going on with these Venezuelan gang members. And from what I'm hearing, these Venezuelans are taking over empty apartment office buildings and empty apartment buildings, apartment complexes, right? And the way I see that, they're trying to house their people. Their people are living in encampments right now. They out there in tents. So it's getting cold. Chicago's a cold ass place. So they're finding places for the people to shelter in abandoned offices and abandoned apartment complexes, and they're just taking it over. I don't really call that taking over from nobody, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear you. And one of the dudes said that early, like late at night, you can see the Venezuelan gang members out there just brandishing weapons, you know, like assault rifle, just standing up like, I mean, y'all watch too much TV, bro. This is not New Jack City. This is still America. This is not Bogota, Colombia. This is not Guadalajara, Mexico, or something like that, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to just come stand outside with assault rifles 100 deep and the police not come down and go to war with you. It ain't happening, bro. And you are illegal residents or illegal aliens, so to speak. Nah, it's not happening, man. So my point to all this, in my opinion, I don't know what's going on, but the stories that they're telling are not adding up. The math ain't mathing to me. You know what I'm saying? From everything I know about street life, from everything I know about gangs, you know what I'm saying? I hung with a lot of gang members. We don't have a gang culture in New Orleans. But I had friends that were gangster disciples, vice lords, Crips, Bloods, Latin Kings. I just couldn't imagine. Like, I can't see them taking over nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how they get weapons. That's another thing. I don't know how they get weapons. You know, I've been living in Dallas since Hurricane Katrina blew my ass up here to Dallas, man. That's 20 something years ago. Yeah, it'd be 20 years what, next year, right? I've been up here in Dallas the whole time, and I don't know where to go get a gun at in Dallas. If I had to go get a gun underground, I don't know who to talk to out here. And I did time with dudes out of Dallas, but I haven't seen none of those dudes since I've been living in Dallas, you know what I'm saying? I did fair time up here. I know a lot of dudes. Technically, I know a lot of dudes from Dallas, but I haven't seen none of them dudes since I've been up here. This is a big area, you know what I'm saying? A very big area. But the point is, I don't know who to go talk to if I want a gun. In fact, I'm so disconnected from the street life in New Orleans, I don't know who to go talk to in New Orleans to get a gun. Because if you've been off them streets for like 2-3 years, it's a whole new cast out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole new group of people out there, bro. You know, that turnover rate in street life is high, which I'm going to get to that in another video. I'm going to talk about that another time, you know, why it's like that, you know what I'm saying? And it got nothing to do with everybody getting killed or going to prison, you know. It's a stage. And when you grow out that stage, you move on. But my point is, if these Venezuelans are able to go to a city like Chicago with just 100 armed men and take over, then y'all been lying to America about the gang violence in Chicago, man. It can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. You can't have it both ways. It can't be that bad. If they can just go with 100 dudes and take over a city like Chicago, the gang violence can't be that bad in Chicago. Everybody got to be citizens. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to be citizens, man. Because ain't no way they can do this. But the truth is, I'm not hearing where they really taking over anything. I think a lot of these reports are greatly exaggerated. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is a lot of anger, though, behind all of the government assistance that they're getting. And if there's one reason black people should vote Republican, that's it. That's the reason. Because they shouldn't be doing that to black people. You know, they shouldn't be putting them people in our neighborhoods and giving them everything while we struggle. But the truth of the matter is, don't even make it a black thing. Make it a citizen thing. We should not have no citizens homeless, no citizens struggling while they giving these people everything. And are they giving them everything because they living in camps? They're living in tents. So, I mean, you know, it's kind of like, what's true? I mean, that's probably what, yeah, you know, what's really true? You know, are they really giving them things or not? What's really going on? Because I don't really know what's really what, you know what I'm saying? I'm not justifying nothing, but I'm saying I don't really know if these stories that we hear in the media are telling the whole truth, you know what I'm saying? So I will pump my brakes on that, you know, and I don't know why y'all think that we so weak. You know, y'all gotta make y'all mind up. I'm talking to you buster ass niggas right now. Y'all got such low opinions of all the people from like the ghetto and the hood, the people from street culture, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got such low opinion of how violent we are, but y'all think somebody from the outside gonna come take us over? Make your mind up, man. If they able to do that, we not as violent as y'all think we are, man. Come on, man. But the main problem that I see also is an infrastructure problem, you know, that nobody talk about. I don't see how you artificially inflate a population of a city by tens of thousands in a short period of time, man. You can't do that. And they claim that they're giving these people cars and they're giving them a house. I don't see it, bro. It's something is not adding up, man. Something is not adding up. You know what I'm saying? There's too much going on there that's just not adding up. I know in New York they had them stand like these hotels and everything, these empty hotels. They was putting them all in these hotels and stuff like that, man. But I'm not seeing how you could do all the stuff that we hearing that they're doing for them when every time you see a picture they're sitting there on in tents and stuff, right? They're at homeless encampments, like, or they in some hotel. But then they show you some Latin looking people on the corner all dressed up talking. How do you know that's not Americans, bro? How do you know it's not just some people that's been in America? This is their 5th generation in America, man. That they from some Spanish speaking country, you know what I'm saying? It might be Hondurans or something, or Dominicans or something, you know what I'm saying? How do you know what you're looking at when you just see an image of somebody standing up there talking on the corner? You don't know what you're looking at, bro. You don't know what you're looking at. So we got to be mindful of the games the media play. Something is going on, yes. And whatever's going on, they are wrong. The government is wrong. The Democrats are wrong. And I'm telling you, if there's a single issue of why black people should not be voting for those Democrats, that is it. That is the issue. You know what I'm saying? That is the issue, because they should not be doing that at all. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out till next time. Peace.